Hello everyone, long time no see, it's Kilani64 here with yet another phone review. Today we're looking at the Ulefone Vienna, a budget phone which was highly expected because of its audio capabilities. So without much further ado, we'll start with a small unboxing so you get an idea of what's in the box. On the outside we see a very minimalistic design with the Vienna name on the front, some specs here on the back. And that's pretty much it for the box design. So let's open it up. Get rid of that. We got the phone right here. We'll put that to the side for now. We take away this piece of cardboard. Right here we have a small silicone protective cover, which is nice. It came with the phone. It's completely transparent. We've got a spare screen protector over here. There was already one on the phone when I bought it. We have this thing here to get the SIM tray out of the phone. We'll put that to the side. We'll use that later. Right here we have the charger, and we have the data and charging cable. Now, something that a lot of people have been complaining about this phone, which I've seen on the internet, is that for an audio-centric phone, there's no earphones with the device. And now, while this first might seem as a weird choice, there's a very reasonable explanation for this, because this is a audio-centric phone, its audio capabilities are much better than the average phone. So the choice that Ulefone had to make was either to put no headphones in it and make people buy their own very good headphones to get with the phone so they can experience the increased quality of the sound, or they could put some headphones in it, but then you'd have the problem. Either they would put cheap headphones in it to keep the price low, and they wouldn't sound good, and so people would use them and they would say, wow, this phone doesn't sound so good after all, or they'd have to put some really good quality headphones in, and if they would use those, it would sound good, but they'd have to increase the price of the phone because you can't just put high quality headphones in and keep the price the same. So that's why Ulefone chose to not put any headphones with the phone. And for one, I respect that. I can understand it. I can understand that would give probably the wrong impression to most people who would just use the cheap quality headphones that are normally chipped with budget phones. So that's the reason they did that. Now, before we go on with the phone and the actual workings and stuff, we'll just go over some specs of the phone. As you can see here, we have a 5.5-inch Full HD panel. It's fitted with Corning Gorilla Glass, the third version, so you'll have a hard time getting any scratches or cracks in this glass. We have a MediaTek 6753 in here, so that's running on 1.3 gigahertz. It's a little less strong than its brother, the 52 version, but it manages. We have 3 gigabytes of RAM here and 32 gigabytes of storage, which can be expanded with an SD card, which we can put at the same place as where we put the SIM cards. We've got a 13 megapixel camera in the back and a 5 megapixel camera in the front. We've got a battery of 3,250 milliamp hours. It's running on Android 5.1 with a 6.0 update coming in the near future. And there's a fingerprint sensor right here. So that's pretty much all I can say about the specs. And right now we'll go on with the design. So let's talk about the design a bit. We'll start at the front of the phone where we have a nice singular pane of 2.5D glass, which is nice. It's curved glass. We've got these face buttons right here below. I don't think they're that pretty. They're a little bit too large. There's no backlighting. So they're slightly refractive though, so even in low light circumstances you should have no problems finding the buttons. But still, They could have been designed a little better. I know this is the official Android design, kind of, but you know, I would have liked a bit of a more minimalistic backlit design. When we look at the phone in its entirety, we see it's a unibody phone, so no way to get to the battery in this phone. The texture of the back is some kind of a textured plastic. It's nice. It grips nice. It doesn't feel too cheap, so that's good. It's an elegant design though. It's nicely curved. We see around the edges. Nice, no real corners or anything. So that's pretty okay. Um, what do we got? We've got this. The only thing that I was a little iffy about was this speaker right here. We've got a, if you can see that, a nice lining of the so-called music room or a sound room or something in that perspective. You know, a place where the music can echo around in, so you get a fuller sound when it comes out of the speaker. We'll listen to that later. But anyway, the speaker hole is pretty small for such an audio-centric phone. Is what I thought. They might have put a little more thought into the speaker. At least, you know, it sounds good. It sounds okay, but to make it more impressive, they could have made some kind of grill or something. I don't know. But anyway, we'll just go around the phone a little bit. So up here we've got the audio jack, and right next to that we have an IR blaster. On this side we have three buttons. These are the volume rockers, volume up, volume down, and this is a power and locking button. Down here we have the microphone and USB, a micro USB port. On this side we see this button. This is a special multi-purpose button. You can use this to snap pics when you're in camera mode, or when you're just inside the launcher or something, you can long press it and you'll bring up a recorder. So you can instantly record your, I don't know, your singing or some important notes or anything. It's rather nice. It's because it's multi-purpose, you can use it for, you know, whatever you want to use it for. Right here we have the SIM tray. We'll get that out with the provided pin. So we see here we have place for two SIM cards. Right here we can put a nano SIM. Then right here we can put a micro SIM card, or we can put a micro SD card. So you have a choice of either having a dual SIM phone or having one single SIM and then expandable storage. So that's a trend we see more and more in recent phones, so no real complaints there. So yeah, you can pretty much tell most about the design by just looking at the phone. I gave some of my thoughts on it. That's pretty much it. So we're going to go right on with the actual software of the phone. Alright, so going into the phone, we can talk about the software a bit. So right now we're in the launcher, in the home screen, and as you can see, for Android 5.1 it's pretty much stock. I mean, there are practically no exceptions to this. When in normal, you know, navigation of the phone, there's no difference between this and let's say a Nexus device. So if you're used to that, and if you like, you know, the stock layout with the, you know, this kind of notification center and stuff, then you will feel right at home with this phone. So one thing that I would like to say early on, which I was very happy about, is that there are frequent updates on this device. So I've had it not that long, for like 3 weeks or something, and there have already been 2 OTA updates, which is real good for, you know, Chinese developers. So that's and we've already had a confirmed update to Android 6.0, so that's pretty great. It's coming in July. So let's just go through some of the things that you would expect to be on every phone. But first, let's check out the settings. So right here we've got the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. Right here we've got the hot nod capability. That's the MediaTek NFC competitor. So instead of holding the backs of your phones against each other, you hold the screens against each other. It's not that popular a feature, but you know, it's there. So if your friends have Chinese MTK phones as well, you can use that. Right, in more settings, we have the normal VPN, tethering, You know that stuff. There's no SIM card in right now, but you know the cellular networks. It had 4G capabilities too. Um, let's see here. Home, that's just launcher. Display, we have some display options here. So display, you know, optimization for the screen, all this stuff, font size. All these, these settings. Right here we've got some interesting, the smart settings. So there's a few things that you can set here. Like for instance, a non-touch operation that's air gestures in the launcher and stuff. It works, but you know I've never thought there was that those were very useful, so I don't use them. Right here we have Smart Wake. You've seen that earlier where we double tap to unlock the phone. Or there's other stuff you can draw letters to open the camera, open music, you know, that kind of stuff. We have all these other smart things. One thing that I would like to draw some attention to is this float multitask thing. It's very reminiscent of the iPhone Assistive Touch, so it's sort of a shortcut to a few functionalities. We'll look at these later, but it stays like this. It floats around on your screen. You can access it whenever. Location security, right here we've got the fingerprint functionality. First they're asking me to put in a PIN code. Let's use something simple. Yes. And then they're asking what I want to show on the notification screen. It doesn't matter right now. So let's just add a new fingerprint, shall we? So I'm using my index finger here. So I just have to hold it against this fingerprint sensor here, and it gradually scans my fingerprint. Let's just get this over with real quickly. Done. And so now when I lock the phone, I should be able to unlock it by just putting my finger on here. And it works. It works fast. It works well. I've had very little trouble with this actually working. So yeah, that's pretty great. Right, we've got these other settings that you know about. You know all these settings. Let's just check out about phone quickly. So you can see we're on Android 5.1. You have the Vienna here. You know all this stuff, you know, that you get the lollipop thing here. Yeah, we all know about this. Let's just go into the app drawer. Let's check out some apps. We have the phone app over here. It's just stock, you know this. You have the messaging app, music, FM radio. FM radio, I like it. I think FM radio wasn't here when I first got it. I think it was added with an update. I'm not sure on that, so don't quote me. But you know, even if they didn't add it with an update, even if it was there, you know, it's a nice thing to have. We've got a working compass too. We'll go over the sensors later. What are the apps? So you know all these apps, so I don't really need to show you all of them. One thing that I would like to show you, we're going to look at this assistive touch thing here because it has a few nice capabilities. So we can scroll through here. Most of the things you can already tell by just looking at the icon. This is a picture gallery, calculator, app permissions, music, video, settings. Right here, this scissors thing is something I would like to show. When we press that, we get this small submenu under here. And so this is a screen. This is like the snipping tool on your Windows computer. It's a partial screenshot. So if we press the scissors, we get a screenshot. But if we do it again and we choose this option here, you see we can choose a part of the phone that we would like to take a picture of. Like for instance this vinyl here. So we put it and we just press it, and then you see we have taken a picture of just a part of the screen, which is very nice. I've never seen this in a phone before actually. So I was very happily surprised by this. We can close this menu again just by pressing the cross. And that's pretty much it. So this is pretty handy, you know, if you want quick access to like your camera, if you're, you know, you're not on your main screen, you want to open your camera instantly, it's very useful to have this thing around. So yeah, let's just check out the camera app for a bit. But yet again, it's very much like the stock camera app. It has some modes up here, panoramic mode, stuff like that. Right here we have some settings, to beautify your face or to keep GPS locations of the picture you're taking. Right here's some picture settings. Let's just go through these quickly. And some video settings, including some electronic image stabilization. Also here we have some options for the picture quality. There are a lot of options. Most of the times there are like 2 or 3, but this phone offers a lot of them, which is nice if you just have to snap some quick pics of some documents or stuff and they don't have to take up much space. You can change it into a low quality picture, which is always nice. So as you've already might have noticed, the Google apps are pre-installed, which is always a plus for these Chinese phones because it's a hassle to do it yourself. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about the software. So let's go on and test some performance.